Well, we asked for it and they finally gave it to us. We finally got confirmation that Playground Games has been making the new Fable. And although we didn't get a chance to see everything that we wanted to see, some combat, some gameplay, the characters, they gave us the confirmation. And so for that, I do have to commend them. Thank you, finally. But let's talk about Fable for a moment. This game, Fable, has been in development by Playground Games for at least as far back as 2018. The game originally, if rumors are to be believed, the game originally was supposed to be a different RPG before Xbox Game Studios approached Playground with changing the story, the focus of the game, to become Fable. And that's something that they were fine with, that they agreed with. Now, the graphics showing Fable the way they did makes me believe that this game isn't Fable 4. It's not a continuation of the story. It's not moving on beyond Fable 3, that this may actually be somewhat of a remake of the first game, which in this regard, I am fine with. The first game is a very good game. If you have access to or have Fable Anniversary, I definitely recommend you do so. It's a good game. My favorite is Fable 2, but not everyone has their favorites. It seems like most people either like Fable 1 or Fable 2, and everyone universally hates Fable 3. It is what it is. But a couple of things that I personally hope for when it comes to Fable, and what I want is, I would like a somewhat different take with the art direction. Now, it seems as if, based on the trailer, that the visual fidelity is going to be very, very high. I know just the trailer can't really take too much stock into that, but Playground is used to making pretty games. All of their racers are good looking games. Of course, they're racers, but still, people are going to expect a certain level of quality for a AAA RPG, regardless of the fact that this is developers' first time making it. I'll get into that in a moment. But as far as the things I'm looking for, I want Fable to have not photorealistic visuals, but definitely a certain level of detail. High level textures, ray tracing. I want the game to look beautiful. When I played the beta for Fable Legends, despite the game being extremely boring and being a real misstep with the franchise, it was a pretty game. It was running on Unreal Engine. It looked very, very nice. It ran super slow. The frame rate seemed like sub 30 frames per second, but it was a pretty game. And this hardware, the Xbox Series X, is far more capable than the Xbox One was. And considering this game is not going to be playable on the Xbox One and Xbox One X, they should be able to go all out. The other thing that I am hoping for is an evolution to the combat. So they still need to have the use of magic, the use of melee weapons like swords, but I want a different kind of combat system. Now, although we've known about development of Fable since 2018, they have been working, Playground that is, have been working on their second studio since 2017. And since then, they've hired Juan Fernandez de Simon, who joined them in 2017 and worked as a senior designer on Ninja Theory's Hellblade, and he's now their principal combat designer. Now, I know there are those who did not like Hellblade's combat, but the issues that they normally have with it is that they felt it was lacking depth, that there were no additional weapons, that it seemed like the same enemies you kept fighting over and over again. It was repetitive, but the core of it, I believe, was good. The core of the combat was well done. It's just there wasn't enough of it in the game, and maybe with Hellblade that will be rectified with the sequel. But in regards to Fable and having someone who designed the combat from Hellblade, I think that's something that you can expect to see a very close to your character camera third-person perspective, and add in the magic and the overall feel of the previous Fable games and combat. And I think that could be something that can be very enjoyable to gamers once they get their hands on it. Also wanted to touch on some other key hires they've made that really got me excited, especially on the narrative side of things. They hired Martin Lancaster, who was a senior script writer for Batman Arkham Knight. He spent 4 years at Rocksteady, and as far as visuals go, I really do feel like visually this game is going to be stunning. I know I talked about that already, but visually I want a bit more mature of a game, and I think hiring people like Scotty Brown, who was an environment artist on Star Wars Battlefront 2, beautiful game. Noel Lucaswich, who was an environment artist for various BioWare games, and Chris Goodall, who was an animator for DMC, Devil May Cry, and Hellblade. And you know, I think they got something really strong here. They got a strong enough team to be able to really deliver on a quality game. So we're just going to have to see. Hopefully, me personally, I'm looking for something that's of the same level of quality as Fable 2. And that would be something that could really be a good boon for Xbox Game Studios in the future. But again, we have to take it with a little bit of skepticism. Playground Games is a very, very good developer, but they've only done racing games so far. Let's see how they make their transition into action RPGs. And yes, it is a second team doing this, and not the main team that does Forza Horizon. But what we want to see is we want to see the same approach to making a quality game carry over from the first studio to the second. And hopefully that does take place. But you guys let me know how you feel about Fable. Are you looking forward to this game or are you not? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked the video, hit the dislike button if you didn't, it's all good. And hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content on Fable in the future. Peace.